what I want to share with you now is where the real power starts, which is actually shifting, stopping, breaking the cycle. Just to remind you, we have the thoughts, the emotions, the behaviors, the negative outcome, and the belief. And that's that cycle or that flow. So here it becomes really important, which is, how do we break this? How do we break this cycle? Now, what I want to say, which is true, is we can break this cycle at any one of these points. And I mean, negative outcome naturally changes to a positive outcome when you change one of these. But basically, if you can learn how to deal with the thoughts, if you can learn how to deal with the emotions, if you can learn healthy behaviors, if you can shift the belief at its core, any one of those points can break this cycle. So just to give you a bit of an understanding, I'm gonna give you like a brief overview or description of each of these points, and then, as I said, we're gonna go into depth in this later in the course. When it comes to the thoughts, our goal is to dig past or move past those first negative thoughts that we have, understand where they're really coming from, and then find the truth of the situation. Clarity in that sort of tornado of thoughts and thought spirals. So we would do things like reframing thoughts. We would do things like, I like to call it, cognitively argue against the thought. And our goal is to find clarity and clearness and the truth of the situation and experience that we're having. When it comes to emotions, and by the way, that's also called like mental regulation. So another part you can add to that is like, we want to also create distance between the thoughts and ourselves through like grounding techniques. There's some exercises where I'm going to teach you how to like shut down parts of like the thinking brain, etc., etc. And the goal is to distance ourselves between ourselves and those negative thoughts that come up. When it comes to the emotional regulation. So we had mental regulation and also mentally reframing and everything. Emotional regulation. We want to feel more calm, relaxed, etc. in our body and in our emotions. So emotional regulation, we'll take some like techniques, tools, and practices. We also have some techniques that we'll go into where we can like self-reassure ourselves. So we get to a place of feeling more calm and centered through our own means. The behaviors, this is very important. Things like healthy communication. There is a healthiest way to communicate. There is a healthiest way to set boundaries. There is a healthiest way to deal with situations. They are all skills. And as you build that skill, you will have more success. You will show up more healthily. You will have better success in your interactions and relationships. And therefore, you'll feel better about yourself and believe better things about yourself. And then the behaviors themselves, we'll go through some belief shifting exercises as well as some inner child work, all designed to basically deal with that belief and the memory that it comes from at its core. The ultimate goal, and this is very important, as we start to better deal with our thoughts, aka argue them properly so that they're not actually coming up as much, or moving away from them so that they just become a normal thought, or not, just at the very least, not falling into that thought spiral. As we are able to calm our emotions and we're able to regulate ourselves and feel more calm even in the middle of the storm, as we learn how to enact healthy behaviors and therefore have more positive outcomes, etc., etc. And as we shift those deeper beliefs at their core, understand them better, see how they're not sabotaging us anymore, etc. These create a new cycle. And instead of insecurity, we start to build confidence. We start to believe we are more capable. I mean, think about it right now. Think about how you feel and what you believe about yourself when you have a thought spiral and you can't get out of it. When your emotions and your panic are going haywire. When your behaviors are unhealthy and you feel bad about it, you can see how you make your partner feel, so on and so forth. What do you believe about yourself? You believe something wrong with you, that you're not good enough, that you're just fundamentally flawed. Think about how you would feel if you could deal with those thoughts, if you could deal with those emotions, if you could act healthily and confidently. You would believe that you are capable, that you are good enough. You'd probably believe you're fucking awesome, which is true. Because that's exactly how I started to feel as I built these skills, as I learned these things, as I understood myself better, as I enacted healthily. There's no better feeling, maybe there is, but at least to me, there's no better feeling to me than being able to catch myself and handle a situation healthily when it used to completely like control me and run my life. It's awesome. And the cool thing about this too, which I'll just put you as a little side piece, the opposite of insecurity is not secure, it's actually confident. So you naturally build, at its core, the opposite of insecurity while you're doing this. So there's a little cool side piece. And what I hope you're really taking from that is like, there are steps, there are tools, there are skills that you're going to learn, that you will learn, that I'm going to teach you, I'm going to share with you, I'm going to give you, that is going to help you take your power back. That is going to help you feel more calm, in control, able, capable, stable, etc. And ultimately, it's up to you to practice them, to put them into play, so on and so forth. But I'm going to set you up with all the tools and understandings and like ways of doing that properly. Okay, what we're going to go through next is our first proper activity, which is going to be building your internal compass. Basically, so as I spoke about before, different psychological frameworks. This is going to be a new psychological framework specifically for attachment styles that I created. And it's going to help you build deep awareness of yourself and your actions as you follow this journey of attachment styles.